In the past, we've gotten demons, jinns, and descendants of them. For example, Garlic Jr., Bojack, Lord Slug, Deborah, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, and so forth. There has always been a big fixation on beings wielding the vast power of magic, voodoo, and ancestral energies that guide the way of supernatural existences. However, if you are a fan of espers, sorcerers, mages, battle mages, magical knights, or just magicians overall, then this video would be an intriguing one for you today. Looking into the realm of alchemy and science, we'll be taking a look at the combat power of the demon realm's supreme demon king Goku from Dragon Ball Daima. Before we dive in, I just want to take the time to say how much I appreciate the ones who've been sticking with the ride no matter what. Through the years, I have been trying to push the limits and gain a lot of traction, but if you are new here, then let me tell you, I've been doing this debating and analyzing worlds since I was 5 on the internet, which is the cyberspace. So you have to realize the struggle is very indeed real. So I hope you enjoy what my channel brings and have in store waiting for you. Dragon Ball brings us an enemy that is quite mid in terms of appearance. Doesn't really look like much, in fact rather weak in terms of what we've been used to, but not in the sense that he's an actual weak character, just not anything to really be astounded by. Still, he shows a good competence in knowing this about himself as well. At the start of Daima, we see him in his chamber along with the Glen Dages, who is the brother of Shin, who also has a sister named Arensu. Nevertheless, Gohma and Dages are watching Goku and company take out the most fearsome foes that Gohma had known of, as far as we know it. Making note that they defeated Demon King Deborah and Majin Buu, making a really big deal about this feat pulled off easily. Noted that Buu killed Deborah and they in turn killed Buu. This pretty much shocks the two, but they also speak of the energy they use being different, calling it light magic. But that's later Shin explaining what ki is better to Glorio. Meaning in the world of Dragon Ball, ki is a magical, spiritual, and paranormal energy instilled in everything and everyone, while dark magic is the powers they wield in the demon realm. Keep this in mind going forward in the future. Additionally, they say they can't use it. That just means they don't know how to channel or wield ki the way that they do in the mortal multiverse beyond their understanding. We don't need to really expect much, since it was directly stated that he was weaker than Deborah. Deborah pretty much outclassed everyone in the demon realm in combat and magic. Not only that, it's mentioned that the demon realm's Dragon Balls were guarded by beings created by the Namekian legendary god Neva of the whole demon realm. These guardians were so strong that nobody could ever achieve a feat of defeating them to summon the dragon from these Dragon Balls. Not even Deborah. Only the Demon Kings with a special something probably could. Even though that was stated, it was also stated that Gohma wasn't to be underestimated despite being weaker than Deborah and Buu. He was still a crafty and capable foe with good magical abilities. Gohma was looking for a stronger power though. A more mountainous power that could have the realm flowing and bending at his command. He was seeking the legendary and immensely powerful tertiary oculus eye. With that eye, he was sure it didn't matter what the cast had achieved by defeating the great and mighty Majin Buu. That power was insignificant to the quality of battle power that he'd gained from the third eye. He'd become an unrivaled being, ruling with a diamond fist. Gohma anxiously couldn't help it but to go to Universe 7, make a wish with the gods Neville and Dages assisting him, changing our cast to kids and still in Dende to have the gang embark on an adventure through the demon realm. Arensu, on the other hand, was having the witch Marba create more Majins, who created Pure Buu. Since she knew Bibbidi could actually control him, she deemed the powerful Buu as a fluke. Thus was born 2 more Jins, but of good heart. We found out that how much of a threat that the Tertian Oculus really was. Demon King Deborah deemed that his father, Abra, was weak in terms of battle power, but the third eye he was able to uphold and control a sovereign of the demon world with unparalleled powers. Knowing this, not even Deborah could win, but he had his minions steal it and try to lock it away only to find out he lost it. Regardless, anyone who had the eye in their grasp was basically seen as an unstoppable force. The first demon king in the past was even able to command the demon god Rimus to separate the demon universe and make tons more of them. Super Majin Rimus acknowledged and did as he commanded once the first demon king got the eye. Though going back to the Tamagomis, they were seemed unbeatable. The Majin named Ku was defeated with little to no effort from the first world Tamagami. Majin Du, Mini Goku, and Mini Vegeta were capable of defeating them, obtaining the Demon Realm Dragon Balls. I guess we should mention that it was stated everyone has tried to attempt in collecting the Demon World's Dragon Balls, including Bibbidi and Kid Buu, since before going off to the mortal world. However, they weren't successful, therefore supportive of how strong they've gotten from their fight with Pure Boo, even including the intense training of 6 months, increasing the combat skills in totality. It also should be pointed out that if anyone defeats a Demon King, they are able to use them for free, supporting again that Demon Kings might have been the only ones that have defeated them, meaning all Supreme Demon Kings with the third eye were usually unmatched. That also means you had to defeat the Demon King in combat, can't just take it. And to top off that off, the Tamagomis also have an extra power up from his godly power utilizing the Dragon Ball's magic, increasing their strength more. Now, you should take note that if the Demon Kings get free wish, right, because they become the Demon King, it could be also that they just go against one another and then they get it because nobody has ever defeated the Tamagomis. But the show shows you that with the third eye, you're pretty much unmatched. It took even Vegeta to use Super Saiyan 3 to defeat the one from the second world, while Goku won his in Super Saiyan 2. While Do beat first Tamagami with awkward, uncoordinated attacks and casual effort, which was the strongest Tamagami. That should give you a good grasp and idea of how much further we are ahead in Daima after Z. So, going back to the Tertian Oculus, and that is a revered item. The eye even made Neva anxiously nervous about his strength. Gohma eventually obtaining this legendary magical item of unmatched power gained an entirely different physical look. A transformation occurred and he grew along with his dark magical abilities, challenging the cast to a duel that he would reign supreme. And now that he's achieved the third eye, starting by showing this new power, he uses sidekick powers in order to gather up rocks and matter, manipulate them, enhancing them into a more durable structure, making them into a ring. Everyone attacks Gohma all at once. Gohma here showcases that it wasn't just his strength that increased, but his combat prowess went up too, showcasing this by being able to react and intercept, parry, and counterattack all of them at the same time. While feeling himself and being blasted by all of their ki waves, he blocks the attack with a sidekick barrier, releasing a darker and more chaotic magic around him, dissipating those beams with no effort, one-shotting a mini Super Saiyan Vegeta. Joyous of his newfound magical strength, he casts a paralysis spell mentally using the third eye on Goku, forcing Goku to release his full ki energy to break it, going into the formerly Z Ultimate Super Saiyan transformation, Super Saiyan 3. The calm and collected mini Goku then gives King Gohma a powerful and heavy blow to the gut and start to get showed up. However, Gohma doesn't fade at the mighty Super Saiyan 3 Goku strength. Dude gets enticed and amps himself from a cookie and even mimics Son's Super Saiyan 3's transformation, which is really funny. Fighting side by side with Goku on par for a short burst, outclassing Gohma in a duo tag team battle until it wore off in the middle of it, getting one punched off to the side by Gohma. You must realize that Gohma wasn't fighting to kill, but that he was fighting to show he is superior. In that same moment, Tamagami 1 came in as a sub. During this time, Gohma was completely outskilled by them. Reacting, the third eye causes a psionic explosive wave, followed by a psionic beam that knocked out Tamagami 1 and knocked down Super Saiyan 3 Mini Goku, with a 2-piece and a biscuit to go along with them. Showing more spectacular abilities, Gohma was able to create a magical impulse blast that turned into a primordial fireball, showing that it gives you cosmic energy too. Nevertheless, the god never lends his godly ki to Goku to evolve and push him over a wall to achieve a new form, Super Saiyan 4, making a complete maximum evolution happening, shocking both Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, and Gohma. At this point, the tide of battle is completely changed. Goku starts to dominate Gohma, but Gohma is still in there able to contend against this newly mini Goku Super Saiyan 4. Third eye though shows even more abilities, like giving you unlimited regen factor in totality. So all of that damage that Goku even didn't matter. The third eye reacted and replenished him completely back to normal, adapting to try and overcome the difference. Also, since all of this is still magic based, the attacks bypass conventional regular durability and Dragon Ball, so the attacks are a lot harder from an opponent with magical power at this level. Even worse, that is witchcraft, black magic of chaos. In fact, you could call him Supreme Demon King Gohma of Black Chaos if you want. Seems to be a lot more fitting. In retrospect, earlier Gohma called Goku ki energy funny magic, looking at Goku more of like an arcane warrior figure in his eyes, which is correct since chi is more about commanding your spirit, which in turn increases and draws out your potential of power. Goku showing the difference between their combat prowess shows that there is levels to this fighting game. no pun intended, both wanting to prove their superior might over the other, even though most of all the cast spectating join in get tossed aside like little ants, keeping his focus mainly on the impressive and otherworldly Super Saiyan 4 Lil Goku, who continued to show he's the better fighter and superior warrior. Upping his energy to charge to a Kamehameha, Gohma wasted no time getting rid of fodder, releasing a chaos wave that overpowers the lightning and special beam cannon that Glorio and Piccolo let out, following it up with an attack Goku at full force with 2 punches. That wasn't enough to stop the booming Goku's Blaze Kamehameha. Thus, the Oculus again shows its crazy unfathomable abilities, and have Gohma create a barrier and use his mental power to capture Goku and use his power depletion, reverting Goku back to base. Goku completely could not overpower this and was amazed by the power that the Tertian Oculus wielded. Gohma thought he was so strong and impressive that when the Shokunshin Red Purunga appeared, he could take him out, like Demon King Piccolo did to Shenron. Little did he know again, there's levels to this godly power as well. Gohma easily blocked to even his surprise was flicked away like a little gnat. Seeing that his opponents were now back to normal, he thought it'd be no different than what he just experienced. This was not wrong, but wrong. Vegeta and Goku were now stronger and had to shake off the weirdness out of them now they are adult. Gohma was clearly stronger than base form Vegeta, but that physical prowess became a lot bigger. But not only that, Vegeta was never restored and retained all damage and stamina depletion that had occurred. So the difference between his little self and big self was quite a gap. Remember, little Vegeta couldn't endure a lot from Gohma, while a Super Saiyan Vegeta was easily able to overpower him and transform into Super Saiyan 3, blitzing his perception. Gohma started to realize there was a change in their power completely, getting outdone and even thought to be obliterated by a final flash, breaking through to the second demon world. Yet the Tertian continues to showcase his magnificent and maleficent power and completely encasing Gohma in a dark impervious like shell that healed Gohma in the same moment, which surprised Vegeta, and then he got blitzed faster than he did to Gohma earlier, completely adapted to his level while Vegeta loses more stamina. As he stated, he can do this all day. Remember, he's proven his superiority, he's not out to kill them. Now that Gohma has Vegeta on the ropes, it's Goku's turn to step in, but this time it's on an all-out battle. No holds barred, no time to waste and drag it out, but a fight for the competitive win. With the little energy he has, he's going to go full power, enticing Gohma and allowing him to showcase his power through transforming and showcasing that his training allowed him to retain the evolution that Nebba had done. It was an all-out Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus a chaotic, magical, supreme Demon King Gohma. Here, Gohma shows yet again, that he's completely outskilled, but trying to adapt and condition and buff himself to fight Goku equally. Fighting back using his sidekick abilities. He actually used magic to manifest his scepter out of ki energy and use a Dark Hell's own magic attack. Gohma continues to showcase other cool mental projectiles like he's Onslaught or Ultimecia, but Goku prevails. Both had moments where each had to buff themselves up, but after Goku recollected himself calmly, Gohma, even though he was rivaling Goku's strength, was becoming too much for him to handle. Goku using a full spirit Kamehameha attack versus a Tertian mind projecting black blaster attack caused a crazy beam clash where Gohma was overpowered. Goku and everyone having thought to win, and Piccolo tried snaking his weakness, Gohma was not done. In fact, he completely had a full-on maximum power increase, releasing his magic, healing himself back to 100% and having his chi energy to release this time, and it completely shot up, becoming dangerous in the eyes of Goku, shaking him until the anticlimactic ending of "Coup hits that you can't feel, remove the third eye," making the fall of Gohma rather dull and feeling of no, this party was just about to get crazy. All in all, Gohma was far superior to any foe previously shown in the past arcs with the power of the third eye, and mind you, he didn't even use it to its fullest capacity. It was at least a superb classic to see that Gohma ended up as a valiant opponent versus the main story. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until the next one.